Hey guys, this is Larry Krupa here, and I got bad news for Google+. Google+ had originally been scheduled to be shut down for consumers in August 2019, but however, this deadline for Google+ has accelerated. Google+ is unfortunately shutting down on April 2, 2019 due to the most unfortunate bug happens. The reason would happen because of low usage and challenges involved in maintaining a successful product that meets consumers' expectations. The company cited low user engagement and disclosed software design flaws that potentially allowed outside developers access to personal information of millions of users. The platform, which has a small but dedicated user base, decided to shut down following Google's acknowledgement of a data exposure that affected up to 500,000 Google+ profiles. Shortly after, in December, the shutdown timeline was expedited due to another, larger bug that had the potential to reveal private user information and impacted approximately 52.5 million users. Now, the company has detailed its shutdown timeline for the consumer version of Google+, and it's not wasting any time. Google is still having trouble protecting the personal information on its Plus service, prodding the company to accelerate its plans to shut down all Google+ services. Any Google+ account would be automatically deleted. After that date, you won't be able to access your Google+ account and you won't reach the Google+ site, and Google will delete the Google+ site. No. That sucks if that happened, but Google knows the process of deleting content from consumer Google+ accounts, pages, and album archive will take a few months, so users may still see some of their content available throughout that time. These users are today reeling from the news that Google plans to shut down the free, consumer version of the social network. It's partly due to low usage. Google said 90% of user sessions last just a few seconds. But for some educators, gamers, and people who've simply found their niche there, it's a digital home they believe other social networks can offer. Google+ for G Suite customers, however, will remain active, and Google even has some minor improvements to roll out for businesses using the platform. With the clock ticking, Google+ users are readily eyeing their alternatives. A Google+ mass migration group has already sprung up for community leaders to decide where we go. The options so far are suitably niche: the privacy-oriented social network MeWe, the decentralized, open-source network Mastodon, and Plus.Para, which describes itself as an online social world where you're in control. Nevertheless, Facebook is absolutely off the table. But there's a sense that other networks, however good their interface, may still fail to fit the bill. For many Google+ users, it's not about what you can do there, but the fact of being the last residence in a place that feels right. For consumers, though, this wild, roughly 8-year route came to an end. It's free up to 3,000 Google+ posts, but it must be done. Here's a brief history of Google+. Let's review how it got here. Before Google+ is created, Google Buzz was launched in February 9, 2010. On June 28, 2011, Google+ was launched when Google+ has 0 users. That was the bold claim laid out by Google on launch date, envisioning a better connected world organized into circles of friends. Ultimately, it was positioned as a Facebook killer that did anything at first. In July 12, 2011, Google+ reached 10 million users just 2 weeks after the launch. In August 2011, Google+ reached 25 million. On August 11, 2011, games were added from Google+, but it was removed. On September 30, 2011, the company released a list of changes and additions to Google+ Mobile. In October 2011, the service for Google+ reached 40 million users, according to Larry Page. Based on Comscore, the biggest market was the United States, followed by India. On November 7, 2011, Google+ Pages was launched to all users, which allows businesses to connect with fans. On December 2011, Google Buzz got discontinued and replaced with Google+. On December 31, 2011, Google+ had 90 million users. On February 2012, Google+ increased with more users joining. After initially booming with curiosity from users, Google+ fluttered back to earth with unfavorable press. Google CEO Larry Page said it racked up 90 million users, yet the Wall Street Journal called it a virtual ghost town compared to Facebook. Comscore numbers show that people were signing up, but that was because of a brute force sign-up process and no one was engaging with it. You might have heard of Google Plus while frequenting other forms of social platforms such as Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and even LinkedIn. However, you probably never really understood what it was or who even uses it. Google Plus wasn't made to be your go-to source to check out funny videos or food recipes. It was an identity service. The coined slogan for Google Plus is real-life sharing rethought for the web. On March 2012, they are defending Google Plus, but at South by Southwest a month later, former executive Vic Gundichur defended the purpose of Google Plus, describing it as a social layer across all of Google's services. He said, according to the Huffington Post, "You can think of Google Plus as Google 2.0. It's the next generation of Google," Gundichur said. The old Google was siloed. Your identity and how you share with your family was different across each product. In the new version of Google, we know your name, we understand your circles, and we make every service better. However, that didn't turn out well. On May 30th, 2012, Google Places was replaced by Google Plus Local, which now integrates directly with the Google Plus service to allow users to post photos and reviews of locations directly to its page on the service. On December 6, 2012, Google Plus Communities was released. This allows users to create ongoing conversations about particular topics. Google Plus Communities can also be created and managed under Google Plus page accounts. On June 2013, all games were removed from Google Plus. In October 2013, approximately 540 million monthly active users made use of the social layer by interacting with Google Plus's enhanced properties, like Gmail, Plus One button, and YouTube comments. On November 2013, Google Plus's user base was roughly 60% male and 25% female. In February 2014, the New York Times likened Google Plus to a ghost town, citing Google's stats of 540 million monthly active users, but noting that almost half don't visit the site. On April 1, 2014, Google Plus's Views is launched. It features a view counter, which is displayed on every user's profile page. The view counter shows the number of times the user's content has been seen by others, including photos, posts, and profile page. This feature was later removed in favor of an Insights feature. Google had also angered many users when it integrated YouTube accounts with Google+. It later reversed that decision. On June 2014, Google removed author photos from search results. On June 11, 2014, Google combined Google Places and Google Plus local business pages with the Google My Business product. The product uses the interface of Google Plus but has many more features including insights and analytics. On August 2014, Google has stopped showing authorship in search results, both photo and author name. March 2015, Google Plus splits into two, with Horowitz in charge. His first move was breaking it into two different entities, photos and streams. Horowitz didn't explicitly write out Google Plus, signaling the first time the company was shifting away from the branding. On May 2015, Google Plus launched Collections feature, which was inspired by Pinterest. It allows users to build content collections based on topics and interests. On May 28, 2015, Horowitz said that Google Plus was about to undergo a huge shift that would better reflect how the service is actually used. By that time, two core Google Plus functions, communications and photos, had become standalone services. On November 18, 2015, Google Plus underwent a redesign with the stated intent of making the site simpler and faster, making the new features of communities and collections more prominent, and removing features such as Hangouts integration, events and custom URLs, though events and custom URLs were eventually added back. On early 2016, the program G+ Create, which highlights artists, was launched by Google. The intention was to bring content curators around the world in a community that brings them several benefits, such as access to resources under test and obtaining a verified badge in the profile. There is currently a forum to attend, and the Google team is looking for maximum creativity and quality. On October 2016, YouTube made it possible to reply to pre-Google Plus integrated comments once more with or without a Google Plus account. On January 24, 2017, users accessing the site using desktop computers could access some of the discontinued features by selecting option Back to Classic G+. On the spring of 2018, the problem for Google Plus is not reported by the company due to fears of increased regulatory scrutiny. On October 8, 2018, Google announced that a security bug that allowed outside developers private user data, including full names, email addresses, occupation, birth dates, profile photos, gender, places lived, and relationship status, of hundreds of thousands of users between 2015 and March 2018. The announcement came in a blog posting by David Thacker, VP Product Management of G Suite. According to a report in the Wall Street Journal, Google did not disclose the information on the breach, fearing the company would face damage to their reputation and increased regulation. The company also announced the shutting down of the unpopular Google Plus for consumers. API changes will limit developers' access to data on Android devices and Gmail. Developers will no longer receive call log and SMS permissions on Android devices, and contact interaction data won't be available through the Android Contacts API. That same also API provide a basic interaction data, like who you last messaged, and that permission is also being revoked. As for the Gmail changes, the company is updating its user data policy for the consumer version of the email service. This will limit apps in the scope of their access to user data. Apparently a positive improvement includes gutting Google Plus even further. On November 7, 2018, Google announced that an additional bug in the Google Plus API exposed user data from 52.5 million accounts. As Google puts it, some users were impacted. The bug exposed Google Plus profile data that a user hadn't made public, things like name, age, email address, and occupation, and some profile data shared privately between users that shouldn't have been accessible. The flaw did not expose financial data, passwords, or any other identifiers like social security numbers. Some of the exposed data overlaps with information that was at risk through the other Google Plus bug that impacted 500,000 users. But the two exposures are distinct, unlike situations where a company announces an estimate of total victims after a data breach, and then revises that estimate later after conducting a full investigation. On November 13, 2018, Google found the flaw, and corrected it, but suddenly something most unfortunate happens. Google said that it couldn't confirm which users were impacted by the bug. However, after running a detailed analysis, it found out that the accounts of up to 500,000 Google Plus accounts were potentially affected. On December 2018, a bug for Google Plus happens, causing Google Plus expiration date to accelerate. The announcement came from David Thacker as Google has logged through a series of prominent privacy and data management gaffes. And while the company's response to this Google Plus exposure was quick and thorough, Google has had ample practice on privacy incident responses here and alone. According to David Thacker, he said, "In addition, we have also decided to accelerate the sunsetting of consumer Google Plus from August 2019 to April 2019. While we recognize there are implications for developers, we want to ensure the protection of our users. We want to give users ample opportunity to transition off of consumer Google Plus, and over the coming months, we will continue to provide users with additional information, including ways they can safely and securely download and migrate their data." But it seems that Google will maintain the product for the enterprise sector. The Google Plus data potentially exposed includes names, email addresses, occupations, dates of birth, genders, and profile photos. In addition, 438 third-party applications may have used the Application Programming Interface, or API, that allowed possible access to the data, according to Google. Before February 4th, 2019, you'll no longer be able to create new Google Plus profiles, pages, communities, or events. Google announced that it would stop its long-standing practice of scanning the contents of individual Gmail users for advertising purposes. Of course, the company still has plenty of data it can target advertisements against, like search history, YouTube views, and other Chrome actions. These most recent changes are being attributed to an internal Google effort called Project Strobe. which involves a review of third-party developer access to Google account and Android device data and about philosophy around apps data access, according to Google. On February 4th, 2019, the Google Plus feature for website comments was removed by Blogger. On March 7th, 2019, the Google Plus feature for website comments was removed by other sites. By this time, Google Plus sign-in buttons will stop working in the coming weeks, but in some cases will be replaced by a Google sign-in button. This includes Google Plus Rust API, Google Plus Web API, Google Plus Android SDK, Google Plus Domains API, Google Plus Pages API, and Google Plus Community. Owners and moderators who are downloading data from their community will gain additional data for download. That includes author, body, and photos for every community post in a public community. But that was the same one as Google notifications will no longer be accessible. On April 2nd, 2019, all Google Plus accounts and pages will be shut down and Google will begin deleting content from consumer Google Plus accounts. Photos and videos from Google Plus and users' album archive and Google Plus pages will also be deleted. Photos and videos backed up in Google Photos will not be deleted. Google is notifying impacted users about the exposure, and there's probably not much you need to do to respond except hightail it off of Google Plus. If you're still using Google Plus after that day, then they're going to delete your Google Plus account. Life in the online social sphere will continue on just the same without Google Plus, but who knows what Google might have planned for the future. Google Plus is saying its goodbyes, and I would like to say, Google Plus, thank you for letting users to post into you. We'll miss you, and we'll remember all of the good memories of you from June 28, 2011 to April 2, 2019, about 8 years, 9 months, and 4 days. I know some news publishers will be really sad to see you go, though given the engagement rate it is not likely many others will even notice. So, goodbye, Google Plus. We'll remember you. Maybe in rest in peace. No 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 no. I know this is bad, but we're going to accept it and move on. That's all. This is Larry Krupa, signing off.